Okay, listen. What Nick said is very important. We've got to listen to what he said. So far, the police have treated us with a lot of respect and dignity. I don't want any of that not being replicated. We've got to treat the police with respect. It's not their fault what's happening here. And when this does finish, however it turns up, I want us all to go away. And we've got work to do in our constituencies. I myself, I'm in for a big vote in Dudley, and there's a lot of you people here as well are going to get big votes as well. Now, if they do decide to knock Nick up, it's a very, very serious situation indeed. I cannot emphasise how serious it is. The powers that be, they've planned for this. We've pushed them as far as we can, politically, and they now know they can't beat us in a debate.
Fascists!
Liberal multiculturalism is melting down before our eyes. We can see this, and our people, it's not just the English, that's the Scots, the Irish, the Welsh, and the Ulster people, they know it. They're fed up. They're fed up of being lied to. They're sick and tired of lies. They want politicians to tell them the truth. And the truth is, we are being eradicated in our own country. Eradicated. It's a strong word. It's a very strong word. But that is what's happening. Look around you. Look around what's happening in East London, in Bow and Bethnal Green, where we used to find we'd get tremendous results, fantastic results for the nationalist movement. We can't stand there now because democratically we cannot win. That's the future. I'm not being dramatic. The future is we don't have a future as a people. This regime insists that we don't have an identity and a common culture and a way of life. But we have. And we've turned up here in fantastic numbers to assert that right. There's probably 800 people here. We got 800,000 to 1 million votes last time we stood. That's a lot of votes. You imagine for every person here, another 1,000 standing by you who support the BNP. And if this gets out tonight on the BBC, who incidentally are the reason we're standing here in the first place, the publicly funded malicious propaganda arm of the Labour Party, who are trying to jail my friends for telling the truth. Well, I for one will not be paying my television licence ever again. I don't pay good money to see my friends locked up for telling the truth.
No way.
So you can forget that. And you can lock me up if you like for doing that, because I'm not paying another penny to that organisation for what they've done. But if we get round to this election, if they manage to let us contest this election, which I think even this government aren't foolish enough to ban us altogether, even though they lock up our people, we've got a duty. All of us here have got a duty. I'm looking around, there's candidates here. There's many, many candidates, many of my friends. We've all got a duty to get those nomination papers in, to raise that money, to get those leaflets out and to get our message across to our people. We know they want us. We know that. We've just got to persuade them that we are the party that will give this country a future. Now, I know Nick very well. I know how much it will have meant to him to see so many of you turn up here. It's going to make it a lot easier for him. Believe me, if no one had turned up or had been throwing it down with rain, then it would have been a very different matter indeed. But we're past those days, aren't we? We've grown so big now that we can have a demonstration like this and we can show our clout. Because that's what we've got. 1 million votes gives us clout. We are a nation, a nationwide name. People know us. People know who we are and what we stand for. And we've got to build on that democratically. No funny business. That's what they'd love to see us do, to get involved in whatever illegal means, or perhaps having the odd punch-up. I mean, perhaps we're very angry about what's happened. We've all given up a day's work. It's taken us many hours, some of us, to get here. But we've got to be cool. We've got to seize the moment here. This is a very dangerous step for the Labour Party to take. Very, very dangerous indeed. Many people will be looking at this tonight on the television and realising just what kind of a regime they live in. As we said, we've got to be cool. We've got to seize the moment here. This is a very dangerous step for the Labour Party to take. Very, very dangerous indeed. Many people will be looking at this tonight on the television and realising just what kind of a regime they live in. As we said, we've got to be cool. We've got to seize the moment here. This is a very dangerous step for the Labour Party to take. Very, very dangerous indeed. Many people will be looking at this tonight on the television and realising just what kind of a regime they live in. As we said. I saw those reports about Zimbabwe. And quite frankly, I'm not really interested in involving myself in other people's countries, but I saw that whatever goes on in their countries, it's up to them within reason, and perhaps we've got no real business to interfere. But the BBC rather piously said, oh, isn't it terrible, look at Robert Mugabe, he's actually letting his political opponents starve, not giving them food. Well, hang on, what do you think's happening here? What do you think's happening here when our people are threatened with the sack and indeed lose their jobs just for being in the BNP? It's exactly the same thing. This Labour Party that's locking us up for standing up for our rights, is the very same Labour Party that as we speak is sanctioning the bombing of innocent Iraqi kids and old men in their beds, and has currently got their eyes on Iran, should they hoodwink the British people into voting them back into government, and they have the audacity to call us criminals. Exactly. But listen, don't be too despondent about this. We've earned this right here to force their hand. It's political pressure that's done this. It's effective politicking, and it is mass support and the threat of even greater support that has made the Labour Party take this extraordinary move of jailing or trying to jail their political opponents. So our message is, we've got to focus and we've got to keep calm. We've got to keep calm, we're all angry. We've got a job to do. Now hopefully Nick will be emerging from there fairly soon, but there's a possibility they might lock him up here and now. That could happen. Prepare yourself for that. Don't do anything foolish. We're just going to go away and we're going to do work in our constituencies. If you're angry, go and leaflet. Go and canvass. Go and tell people what's happened here in Halifax today in all your various constituencies.
Double your effort.
Because at the end of the day, it's our people that are telling the truth. We're not out there trying to spin and deceive and whatever. We merely want to tell the truth. That's all I've got to say. Thank you very much.